Happy Easter, all of you, regardless of religion or no religion, of spirituality, spiritual beliefs or no spiritual beliefs. Easter I like as a holiday because of its synchronicity with seasonal change and rebirth. Easter, estrogen, egg, rebirth, built in inevitably into the process of the rebirth of the earth is death, the acknowledgement of the death. In a literal understanding of Christianity, Good Friday, death ending, period of purgatory inside the cave. We are all inside the cave at the moment. Muhammad gets the message in the cave, Christ's body laying in the cave. I feel like I'm in a cave myself at the moment. Do you feel like you're in the cave of your house? Sometimes it can be quiet and solitary if you're that kind of a person with that kind of life. If you're in a family or flat sharing or apartment sharing, then there's all kind of tension. Man, I feel for you. Spiritually moving within, going into the cave, that you can be reborn, and particularly relevant in this time as we are all on lockdown, as we're all retreating inwards, as the social systems continue as best they can externally, peculiar narratives of blame. I've seen celebrity condemnation, but really that's an expression of frustration at inequality, the inequality that's always present, only pronounced by the apparent veneer of us all being in the same situation right now. I've seen footballers criticised and feel, I wonder if there is anything worth examining in the fact that footballers would probably be disproportionately from a working class background compared to other high paid backgrounds, and statistically non-white in a way that compares much, I would say favourably to other backgrounds. So when you're criticising footballers, you're saying working class non-white people shouldn't be earning a lot of money, and white people. I recognise a lot of footballers are white. I'm just saying it's interesting. Why not, opera singers or stockbrokers or bankers or actors, and consider the factors mentioned. This is a time for the entire globe to consider rebirth. Of course, on the more front line, material front line, death, sadness, the peaking out in a lot of countries now, peaking out in a lot of UK, in the UK, in getting worse in the US and all of that stuff, the dreadful mathematics, the dreadful exponential growth. But totally and globally, when have we ever been in an experience that is so universal? I recognise I'm in a nicer house than a lot of people. There are people that are in nicer houses than me. There's people with more privilege than me. I'm doing all right on the privilege scale. I recognise that. I wouldn't have wanted this to have happened to me when I'd lived in the house I was born in, or the many, many rooms and bed sits and places I lived in from 16 to 27. I'm pretty lucky, I'm pretty fortunate, and it's one of the things I suppose we can consider. And the point of spirituality and the point of retreat within, what's the point of living the spiritual life, is to realise that the invisible non-material world is where the real value is, in kindness and love and compassion. And when we favour and prioritise kindness, compassion, love, service above personal pleasure, then there is hope for us. There's real hope for change. And I think without it, there isn't hope, unless we are able to find a different set of values. We've seen where this set of values leads us. Unless we find a different set of values, we know where we're heading. We know where we are. We know where this leads, even prior to this period of reflection, this enforced shutting down, this enforced retreat into the cave. Even before that, it was evident that there was a massive requirement for change unless we wanted to experience massive cataclysm, most likely of an ecological nature or potentially a global war. Who knows how Armageddon was going to announce itself? And as we know, sooner or later, there will be some kind of end or some kind of transition. Do we mourn the Neanderthals anymore? For them, Armageddon's already come. Are those traces of them are found in our blood? And who knows what we'll give birth to? Who knows what will be reborn? Imagine a version of us just slightly more evolved beyond our selfishness and greed. I speak for myself. Imagine what I could be if I could let go of my selfishness, my self-centeredness, my intolerance, my impatience, my lust, my dishonesty, my arrogance, my pride, my self-pity, what's lying beyond these inner prompts, because all them emotions and sensations cause me to be unhappy. What can be reborn? What is waiting to be reborn? What is trying to come through? That idea that consciousness may be elemental, our awareness of ourselves, the amazing miracle that I can use my mind to move my hands and use these words. Where else could it reach to? Where else could we reach to in the world of form and practice? Perhaps a different world with different systems, with different values and different priorities, that honors and respects the many, many different ways, the billions of different ways that it's possible to be a human, ape, creature, alive at this time. Well, I suppose I'm saying to you, happy Easter, fecundity, fertility, rebirth, renewal, new energy to you. I hope you're having as good a time as you possibly can, and I hope that you're able to see the things that are positive, even amidst the loss of freedom, the fear around finance, the sickness and the pain and the suffering. Even when not condensed and concentrated as it currently in, those things are coming to us all, because to be alive is to await death. And one of the most intelligent things I've heard talked about during this time by the dude Charles Eisenstein is that we have become ignorant of death, and now death is making its presence felt. We've got to think about how we relate to the sadness of death, the inevitability of death, that we can be reborn at all. So yeah, happy Easter. Think about death, think about life. I mean, on the light side, I mean, is it art? I've got a Lindt chocolate bunny that I got from a supermarket earlier. I'm not meant to eat it though, vegan. You vegans out there, if you let yourself lapse a little bit, I've let myself lapse a little bit on the veganism. It's too hard to keep going out getting the old vegan food, isn't it? What else have you let go a bit? The exercise, how you doing with your exercise? How you doing with your meditation? How you doing with like making sure you check in with your addictions and your madness and your mental health? It's a crazy, crazy time, isn't it? I hope you're able to get some time outside. I hope you are. I hope you're able to get some access to nature. Check out what my missus is doing at Joy Journal. Do some craft stuff, make some stuff. The Joy Journal, yeah, at the Joy Journal. Just make some stuff, do some creative stuff. I'm really, really sending you love. I really feel for you. Those of you that are suffering, I'm offering you compassion, and I hope I can be part of the solution when all of these things pass. I hope that this heralds a new time for us and rebirth of what it is to be human and what it is to organise our systems, that we don't clamour to race back to normality and the malls and the shopping centres and the constant purchasing and the constant cardboard and the endless screen time. I'm looking at my phone more and more. That's another thing I've been doing more. Let's let ourselves be crucified. Let's go into the old cave. Let us be reborn. I'm a bit hungry now. It's starting to affect my video content.